Pia is dying to talk about this episode.
Yes,
she's dying. She's dying. She's dying.
I had to stop myself from voice noting Emily because I was giddy as fuck.
Pia, can you show us the ring again for those of us who are watching? Woo! Oh, it's so good.
Yes, I got it resized, so it's like before it was like falling and you could like it was like going underneath because it was too big, but I got it resized. It's
so perfect. It's so you.
Thank you.
In case you missed it, Pia is engaged. Everybody.
Oh, and quickly, engaged. I want to thank all of Emily's listeners who have sent me venues in the UK and just random things for like protecting my ring and all that stuff. You guys are thebomb.com and all the love.
Ooh, protecting the ring. That's like what?
Different like holders and just like stuff like that. People have just been giving me
vital.
Yeah, people have been giving me advice and just being lovely. I felt so loved.
Aw, you guys are the best.
You guys are.
All right, let's start with Miami. Get Miami out of the way, and then we can go into Beverly Hills.
Let's get it out of the way.
Well, it's like the whole episode was happening, and I'm like, I don't really care about that. I don't really care about that. And then they finally get to the part that matters, and then they end the episode. I'm like, this kind of keeps happening.
That's what I was gonna say, Emily. You really hyped it up.
Franchise.
You did, and I'm like, I'm happy to like recap it. I do enjoy it, but I'm like, it's not living up to how you hyped it up.
I know. I'm like, maybe we don't even waste our time with it anymore.
I mean,
we can chat about it if something major happens, but I feel like this episode, I wanted to see at least move this story forward more. Get Guri and Larsa to have the fight. Don't like tease the fight because otherwise nothing happened this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak on other seasons, but for this particular one, it just feels like the formula is filler, 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 and then all the good shit at the end.
With the credits rolling.
Yeah, and it's like, stop teasing me.
So I think this will be the last week we cover it like as like this in detail, and if something comes up, we'll chat about it, but like, I was like, dude, I even told Pia she has to watch, and it's just...
I mean, I do enjoy it, but it's like one of those.
It's not worth like recapping. Yeah,
I was like doing chores, like and then I sat down once we got to like the good shit.
Because the only thing I really want to talk about is Larsa being just a heartless human being. Like, I didn't think it was going to get this bad. But when Lisa tells Larsa about how she talked to Gertie and Gertie was upset and how Gertie was like, well, this was a test and she failed. Larsa's like, this is not a test. Cancer is not a test. Does she really have cancer? Do you have it or do you not? I thought, okay.
That was
I did not know you were going this direction.
She's so disgusting to me. She is so disgusting to me. I cannot stand her.
It's bad.
And but I know.
Was Kiki agreeing with Larsa though in that moment? I couldn't tell.
I don't feel like no one agrees. But I feel like it's just easy. I feel like Larsa's not a person to have a conversation with, so it's just much easier to be like, like, you know what I mean? There's no point of even
Kiki
like
has a tendency to agree with bad people, though. That's why I'm like, you better not be, because this is like a no-brainer. There's it's like, you know what to do in this case, and it's not do that.
I mean, I think that anybody who's agreeing with Larsa is really setting themselves up to just be canceled. Because, and I hate to even use that word, but it's just like, ugh.
Lisa did really screw up, though, by when the way she's telling Gertie is like, I'm not going to tell you who told me. It's like, no, this isn't like gossip. You could have just said, look, Larsa did end up telling us about you having cancer. Because by Lisa not just saying, Larsa, it means that you shouldn't know because you didn't hear it from Gertie.
Yeah.
Don't protect Larsa then. Don't bring it up at all if you're not going to just bring it up like, because then that means she fucked up.
I am in complete agreement with you on that. And it's not gossip. This is like, guys, I don't know if everyone's understanding how serious this is. I feel like people are like, sometimes I feel like people need to be like see visual things, like because she doesn't look like she has cancer yet, like they're not, I don't know, like not taking it as seriously, but it's like, what does cancer look like? Cancer looks like a lot of different things. Like,
I also feel like Larsa is she's really stuck on the fact that conversation she had with Gertie, she had no way anticipated such a trump card, like whatever the hell we've just been fighting about no longer matters because of this. And Larsa's like, was that just a tactic? That's what she's thinking.
Yes, because she would probably do some dumb shit like that. She's a fucking bitch. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's really just gross. Dude, but if this fucking opera thing that Julia is forcing us to witness, I can't, stop showing us her singing. Please, it's horrifying.
I don't want it. I want to move past this. I'm so happy that it's finally happening so I don't have to fucking deal with her opera singing anymore. I don't even like opera.
Thank you.
When it's good.
Agreed. When I was actually I was a little kid, I was sick. My parents tell the story. I don't remember it. But they were like laying in the bed with me, comforting me, and opera was on, or it came on, and I literally sat up and went, opera, ugh. And they were like, you were like running a fever, hallucinating, but you still managed to get that out. I'm like, and I stand by it.
I don't fucking like it, and I don't fucking like classical music either.
I do like classical music.
I think I don't like classical music because my mom went through a phase where she thought that it would be great to make me listen to it while I slept, and I was so mad. I just stared at the ceiling like, why is this fucking happening to me? She just thought it would make me smarter or something.
Well, because there was showed proof of that. They had done tests when I remember being young, hearing that they played classical music for babies in the womb or something, and it
I'm 10. I don't
affected them.
So
she was so she thought she could do it later. She's like, fuck, I missed the opportunity, so I'll do it now.
Absolutely not.
Oh my
God. To this day now.
Another thing that we'll touch on with Miami is that Lisa is running late to this because there was an article released. Lenny's accusing her of installing a listening device under his car. And there was a whole war between the two of them, Lisa and Lenny, on Instagram. Jody got involved. I don't know if I can actually picture this Lisa doing that. What I can picture is Lenny planting a listening device.
Yeah.
And then saying Lisa did it. Getting recordings and whatnot and making it seem like it belonged to Lisa and then sticking it under his own car. And you know what I mean? I can see that because he's crazy like that.
Because I was doing chores, I straight up thought that's what they were saying, that he planted a listening device, until I realized that they were saying that he's accusing her of it. And I was like, nah. But I don't even know these people that well. I was like, nah, it's him. He would do that, and I don't even know him.
This doesn't seem like something Lisa would do. She's not no. She's not. I wouldn't say she's not smart enough. She's not dumb enough either. It's kind of like one or the other. She's not going to think I'll plant a listening device to hear it. No, I don't see that happening.
I mean, also, what I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Ridiculous. But Larsa's obviously chiming in with it, and Gertie goes, now with the gossip. And Larsa's like, what? What are you saying? And then in Larsa's confessional, she's like, she better not poke the bear. I'm like, are you really threatening Gertie right now?
She has cancer. That's all I kept I
you fucked up.
I was in my kitchen being like, she has cancer, you bitch. That's all I kept saying on repeat. She has cancer, you bitch.
And she doesn't think she did anything wrong. Because at this point now, Larsa is she called Nicole and asked Nicole if she really had cancer.
It's such a dangerous thing. Okay. Playing devil's advocate here for 1 second only. Even if she really suspected that Gertie didn't have cancer, that is just something you just don't even say out loud. Let it play out on its own. Because you don't want to be wrong about something like that. That's a dangerous thing to put into the air.
Exactly.
It's dangerous. She's trying to act like this woman is Brooks from OC. That's probably where she got the idea from. No, she probably didn't watch that.
Right. It's because I think it's something that Larsa would do for attention.
She would. I hate her so much. She's my new trigger. Teddy is a trigger for me, and Larsa is a trigger.
I like that. That's a fun. Those are fun people to be triggered by.
Two triggering people.
Mm-hmm. And very opposite, but also I get it.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, that's all I have to say, guys. I'm not going to keep recapping every week unless something big happens. Just FYI.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
About Miami. I really fucking couldn't stand the scene between Larsa and little Michael Jordan. In that, like, them starting their podcast, it was like painful.
It was really gross.
Very
it's not
painful.
doing them any favors, all of this shit they're doing. And also Larsa thinking it's cool that she doesn't want to hang out with her friends anymore and just wants to hang out with her guy friends, and tells Kiki, like, go get a man then. Okay, thanks, bitch.
This is why Kim dumped her as a friend, because she was having inappropriate conversations with Kanye late at night.
Was that why?
Yeah.
Is that confirmed?
I think she talked about, I remember her having like some interview. I don't know where it was, but she was like, she was trying to be some type of like mediator, like Kanye, like she said Kanye would call her. And I think like,
oh, please.
Yeah. And I feel like Kim knew what was up, because like her family does that kind of shit. So she was like, we got to cut the cancer out. No.
Yeah. I wasn't meant to do that.
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
You guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about how much I love this company's products, but I do this because I love you guys, okay? If you don't already know, Kitsch makes all kinds of amazing beauty products from head to toe, but what it's all about with Kitsch is preventative care, okay? When I found out that you should not just be sleeping on a typical pillowcase, but you should be sleeping on a satin pillowcase, because not only does it help prevent breakage in your hair, it helps prevent wrinkles. I was like, duh. I've never looked back. They also taught me that if I'm using hair ties that are rough on the hair, like your typical elastic bands, not good either. You want the satin on those hair ties. It has been a game changer for me. I've loved this company for years, and I just need everyone to know, especially if you're in your 20s, do it now before it's too late. Because once the wrinkles are there, it is so hard to get rid of them. Trust me. And the best part about Kitsch is it's budget friendly. So whatever your budget is, whatever your skin type is, your hair type, Kitsch is all about little indulgences, morning, noon, and night at the right price. And they were started in 2010, female founded, self-funded. They sold hair ties door to door with a little hustle and a dream. But now they're sold in over 20,000 retail locations. You have heard me talk about the satin pillowcases. They also do them in caps and eye masks. So this is great for your hair and skin while you sleep, because think of how many hours we sleep on our face and on our heads and on our hair. Protect it. You may have also heard about the heatless satin rollers. They were the original, no more heat damage, wake up or just leave it in for a few hours and you've got amazing waves. But the latest Kitsch viral craze is the rice water shampoo bars, which can improve your overall hair growth and density. People are like, I'm never using bottle shampoo again. And their hair feels and looks 1,000% better in between washes. Plus, right now, for a limited time, you can live your Barbie dream life with the Barbie by Kitsch collection, featuring Kitsch's best-selling satin pillowcases in the iconic Barbie pink. I just recently, maybe 2 weeks ago, re-upped my pillowcases. They got some amazing colors in for the spring. I got the sage and the blush pink, but I'm thinking I need to get that Barbie pillow because I like it. Right now, Kitsch is offering you 30% off your entire order at mykitsch.com/she-speaks. That's right. 30% off anything and everything at mykitsch, spelled kitsch.com/she-speaks. One more time, mykitsch.com/she-speaks for 30% off your entire order.
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
Is your dental equipment as chic as mine? I cannot believe that these are electric. This is an electric toothbrush. This is an electric water flosser. They're so chic. They're so sleek. They look great on my bathroom counter. If you want to be chic like me, get Quip. This electric toothbrush has a timed sonic vibration with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist-recommended 2-minute clean. It's lightweight, it's sleek, with no wires or bulky charger. And there's a multi-use travel cover that doubles as a mirror for less clutter. These are reusable handles too, and they have a very chic range of sleek metal hues as well as bright plastic colors. They look so good in the bathroom. Skip the batteries and snap into healthy habits with the new rechargeable electric toothbrush. All the features of the original Quip plus 1 magnetic charge powers up to 3 months of brushing. And the water flosser hits all the right spots with gentle or deep cleaning pressure at the touch of a button right here. There's an extra wide lid, so you can get that water in there a lot easier to fill it up. The cordless rechargeable battery lasts up to 8 weeks with daily use. Again, no bulky charging station sitting on your counter. And this thing blasts away up to 99.9% of plaque and popcorn from treated areas with precision, thanks to the 360-degree rotating magnetic floss tip that snaps right into place. And it's only $7 to replace the floss tips, and they're shipped to you every 3 months to keep things flowing smoothly and prevent mineral deposits from building up. You know how when you go to the dentist, got to get that deep clean. In addition to the floss tips and the brush heads, Quip also delivers fresh floss, toothpaste, mouthwash, and gum refills every 3 months from $7. And these stylish, affordable electric brushes start at just $25, so you won't be paying through the teeth, for better oral health. If you go to getquip.com/bravo right now, you'll get 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, water flosser. That is your 20% off any electric toothbrush, mint and gum dispenser, water flosser at getquip.com/bravo. Spelled GETQUIP.com/bravo. Quip, the good habits company.
What is this, honey?
Okay, let's go to Beverly Hills because I have lots to say about that.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Okay, did you watch What Happens Live?
No.
Okay, so Kathy and Paris were on Watch What Happens Live.
Ooh, I'm so excited now.
Yes, and Kathy was asked about, they were both very careful and cautious in their answers. They're so media trained. They know how to protect each other in this family. You know what I mean?
As they should. Your family.
Exactly. But Kathy actually has a tattoo along with Morgan and Kyle. Like
they got it together?
Uh-huh. Kim was there too, but Kim didn't. It was at Kathy's house. And
okay.
Kim was like, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. And Kathy's like, fine, then don't. But the three of them all got one.
I feel like, because like that one other interview that I sent you with Kathy in Paris, when she's asked about Kyle and Mauricio, I feel like Kathy is like super supportive of like the direction that Kyle is going. I feel like she's really happy for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy for that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like there is a lot of support around possibly Morgan and Kyle. Okay. Yeah. Here's my overall take before we go like fully into the whole recap of the Kyle and Morgan thing. I still am not sold on them actually having a sexual relationship because here's what I see. Okay. I see Kyle being like a giddy 13-year-old. I know I made content about this, so I'm repeating myself. Being like a giddy 13-year-old meeting a chick with tattoos for the first time and thinking she's so cool. And Morgan is that type of Turner lesbian that flips them. And I bet all the middle-aged women at Morgan's gym end up having a thing with Morgan where she knows they like her. She takes them to get tattoos. She's very comfortable in that place because she's kind of condescending to Kyle and acts. She's younger than Kyle's oldest daughters. And so this dynamic, as I already said this once, Kyle feels so adolescent this season. Like when she talked to Mauricio's mom about her tattoos and giggled and all of it just feels like so emotionally immature and like you're a teenager. It's like looking at a 7th grader or an 8th grader. You know what I mean? Okay. So I don't know if I feel like Kyle would actually be too afraid to go there all the way, but is acting like it's not so obvious. Now that music video makes more sense to me. You saw the video, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, we are just friends, even though I don't think Kyle has come to terms with her own attraction towards Morgan yet. Okay. I really don't. I really, really don't.
I respectfully disagree.
I know. I'm sure a lot of people do. It takes a lot for someone who's of that age to then start having lesbian sex.
I mean, is her name Chriselle from Selling Sun? She did it with her partner.
Okay, but she wasn't married with 4 children and it's a whole different thing.
True. That's fair. That's a fair point. But I don't know, I don't think this is my opinion. I do think that, especially after you said your piece on it, I'm changing it in slightly, but I still think do I think they're in a full-blown relationship? No. But do I think that they're experimenting and things like that? Yeah, I do. But I don't see Kyle being with Morgan. Even if they say that they are, I don't see Kyle being with Morgan forever. I think this will be something that
Morgan's gonna dump her ass.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. She is very adolescent at school, but that's why I think it's happening. And I don't think Morgan is going to be oh, we're going to be together. I think she's going to I feel like Kyle is going to get her heart broken by Morgan. And I think that Kyle has, maybe not yet, when we're right now seeing that they haven't, maybe they haven't done anything, but I do see it building. To me, they had extremely high sexual tension during that scene. And it's the more sexual tension than I've ever seen with Kyle and someone else, than I've ever seen her with Mauricio in the whole franchise. Not even, I know they're going through a time now, but just even looking back, this is the most, the way Kyle looks at Morgan, oh my God. She is the happiest. That's the happiest I've seen Kyle in in a long time. And I'm happy. If Morgan makes her happy, I'm happy for her. But can we just tell Mauricio already, so we can get it going and let's incorporate Morgan more? Bye, Mauricio. Let's just do it. Kyle is dying to get her life blown up.
She is, right? She does feel like
dying.
One of my friends said that their theory is Kyle doesn't want to be the one to say it on camera, but is trying to get other people to say it on camera so that she can get mad at that. See, they said it.
Damn it, because I was literally
waiting to say that.
Yes, I just had this conversation with my friend Shirla. I think I had a lot of conversations this morning. And I was saying, I feel like that's why she keeps baiting Sutton to say it, because I feel like it's going to give her a reason to be mad at Sutton, which she always is looking for. And then it's going to give her storyline for next season when her and Mauricio are officially divorced and be Sutton's the one who blew my life up, and she can kind of blame her for it. And that's what's going to be her. She's so good at laying the groundwork for her storylines.
Well, yeah, she's been doing it so long that she knows how it works and knows she can play on a technicality.
Yeah, I feel like she's you're the one who brought up on camera, which caught, and then she's gonna my kids saw, it's something with her kids are gonna happen, and she's my kids saw that, and you're the Kyle is so predictable. You're so predictable.
I'll go scene by scene now because I have so much more to say, but we'll probably just repeat ourselves when we get there.
Okay.
The first scene is the Dorit and Crystal going to Kyle's. And Kyle starts it with, "Can I get your advice?" And I'm okay. I like Sutton. I mean, I know she's been off a few times. I'm all right, there you go. See, you're already laying this groundwork. I'm going to say, though, I have felt that way about Sutton this season. I said it from the beginning. First episode, I'm Sutton feels real weird about Sutton right now. Feels like she's a little thirstier. It feels like she knows what her fans are saying about her, and she's kind of playing up, and it's kind of getting to her head a little bit.
Okay,
but so fine. But I'm also not accusing her maybe of having a drinking problem.
That's the problem I have right there.
And so that's a different story.
Yeah.
But then she tells the story of what happened at her house. And then Dorit co-signs it and does a really god-awful impression of Sutton. I don't even know what the fuck that was.
Everybody's impressions have been off this season.
Yeah, what are you actually doing? Oh, my God. I'm what? That's not how she... Get out of here, Dorit. You don't...
Are you drunk, Dorit? Because that's horrible.
And so then Kyle then goes, "What do you think it is?" So you see how she doesn't say it?
She is so taking her place from Lisa Vanderpump.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it is? And then Dorit takes it. Well, Sutton is a drinker. I would not be surprised if she pours a little vodka in her coffee in the morning. Now, if that's really happening, I almost feel like Sutton's been doing that the whole time they've known her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't notice a change in her drinking. Maybe they've just not been showing it that much, but like, they've never focused on Sutton's drinking before.
I don't buy it. I feel like Kyle told Dorit. I feel like Kyle has already had private conversations with Dorit, and Dorit's dumbass is letting Kyle run her,
Yep.
and now she's going to be on the hook for saying that.
Yeah, no, it's true. Crystal's not biting though. I really respected Crystal for that. She's like, God, you guys, no, she seems fine. And then Kyle's like, but she's also used to it, meaning alcohol. Like, vodka can make people very mean. Like, if I drink vodka, I'd fall asleep. Okay. What? No.
Kyle is, I'm just really happy that I'm no longer in agreement with Kyle, because I didn't like how it felt.
I didn't like how I felt either.
You know?
I didn't enjoy that.
I didn't enjoy it at all.
Then Sutton, that felt so good. I just cracked my neck. Like, oh my God, that was life-changing. Sutton and Garcelle, they get dinner. And interesting though, Sutton orders a drink and Garcelle gives her this look. And Sutton's like, no, I didn't drink a lot at your event. I'm like, so this could be a thing. This could be something that they kind of give Sutton shit for. But if we're not, it's like after last season with the way Erica was acting, if you're not going to have like taken the bait and talked about Erica's drinking, but you're going to take it and talk about Sutton's, it's a little unfair.
Yeah.
A little unfair.
Yeah.
But Sutton tells Garcelle the story about Kyle defending Erica, and Sutton wants Kyle to stay out of it because, it's my business. But I'm like, but you kind of were including her in it. Like, she asked what was wrong. And Sutton says that Kyle was mean at Garcelle's event and mentions bringing up Kyle's like lifestyle changes. And Garcelle goes, sounds like you hit a nerve. And I just love how subtly blunt Garcelle says things.
She's very clear. She's really good at that. She doesn't tiptoe around. She's very clear, but it's not rude.
Mean. Yeah, it's not mean or shady. It's like, sounds like you hit a nerve, and it says so much.
She's really good at like listening, and I think that's why when she says something, she's really listened, taken it in, and she's actually asking a question, or she's actually making a statement of an observation from whatever she's listened to or seen. I love her. That's why we need her.
Yeah, she is the most valuable player on Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
100%. Then Sutton notes the new ring Kyle is wearing, and Garcelle throws in a line in her confessional. I don't know how Sutton noticed Kyle was wearing a new ring. I don't notice jewelry, except after the robbery, Dorit still had hers. I died. Thank you, Garcelle. See, and like Dorit keeps catching strays. I was on Kendrick's podcast last night. He kept saying that. He's like, you got Sutton with the stray, Garcelle with the stray. I'm like, good. She should get strays.
Honestly, the amount of like shade that was thrown this episode was so exciting. It was such good shade. Everyone was doing a great job this episode, I have to say.
Garcelle though asked straight up, like, what are you implying with the new ring? Like, what is like, so what? So she has a new ring. Like, what's your point?
Right.
And then Sutton's like, well, the headlines, about Mauricio cheating and all that shit. And Garcelle's like, look, if you're going to have a friendship, you need to just be honest. You both do. So Kyle needs to be willing to say, like, to Sutton's face that she thinks she has a drinking problem. Like, if that, like, I agree with Garcelle. Like, Kyle, if you're going to say these things, then you got to say to Sutton, I think that I'm noticing you're drinking now or something. But instead you're like alluding to it. And even when they have their conversation, she says something about it, but it feels different. It doesn't feel like you're concerned. It feels like you're just talking shit. Because I don't think you are concerned.
Oh, she's not. That's the thing, is stop masking it as concern. That really irritates me. You're not concerned. And that's this, again, I know that like it's not exactly the same, but like it just feels like similar to like how she was with Kim. Like when she blurted it out, it didn't feel like concern. It felt like judgment. It felt like a weapon. And Kyle, I just can't. I can't with it. And I know, and this one seems very made up. Like,
it just seems out of nowhere.
Like, stop.
Like, I wouldn't have put that Sutton was drinking too much. And they like to throw in, they like to make little compilations too. Like if someone talks about someone's drinking, they'd be like throwing us all these shots of Sutton like drinking. And they know they do that. They like to show that kind of stuff in post, but they're not.
I guess also we watch so many of these franchises with people that clearly have drinking problems, like everybody on the original New York, OC, like they're like even Taylor from both franchises. It's just like, so I understand that not just because you can like hold it doesn't mean that you don't have a problem, but like it's just I just don't see anything that is like the way that they're like really not letting the mouse go with this.
I can say that Sutton does like snap because she does kind of snap on Kyle, like when they're at Kyle's house.
Right.
But it's like, why is alcohol the place that you're going with it?
Yeah. I feel like you just don't like each other.
You just don't like each other and you don't like the way she communicates. And also, she'd probably hear you more if you just said, I don't like the way you just start screaming at me and the way you yell at me. I don't like that. But when you add alcohol, like, is it the drinking? It's like, well, now she's not going to hear you because she doesn't want to be accused of that.
Exactly.
So you guys are screwing yourself up over here.
Mm-hmm.
Erica stages a scene with her new manager, Alexis, and she has left Jack, her old publicist from last season that we remember got into some hot water. She claims they're still friends. They're just on a business together. I feel like he's like, I cannot rep you anymore. Like, yeah. I can't, no one's going to listen to me. No one's going to, you can't have me and I can't have you.
Yeah.
But it's like more of her story arc where she's like, last year I didn't have any empathy. Now I have empathy and I'm going to find my empathy and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Garcelle and Jax go to Taisho. Garcelle, her lesson is that she needs to hear Jax out more. I guess, maybe what's been happening is Jax has been trying to have deep conversations with her and she's been kind of neglecting it or something. But I'm still mad at him because when she says, you hurt my feelings with some of the things that you said. And he goes, I'm like, I'm going to fuck you.
I'm trying real hard not to talk about her child because I know she loves that little boy unconditionally. But that little boy pisses me off.
He made me mad. I'm like, you were unnecessarily mean.
I can tell he's a very smart boy, and I think he's a little too smart for his own good, and he starts talking for real. And he starts talking down to her, and I feel like he favors his dad. I'm sorry. I do think that he favors his dad more because I can tell in the conversation, he's smart, so he knows that his dad did something wrong, and he's like, I'm going to admit that, but that's like, and of course you're gonna love your parent unconditionally if your dad treats you well, but it's like, I don't see the empathy for his mother. I don't see I don't know, something like when she had that scene with Jade in the kitchen last episode, I can see how much he loves his mother, and I can tell how much they're bonded. And Jax seems to at least be going through a phase where he's not really into his mom right now, and it fucking shows. And he needs to get his shit together because I'm not standing for that. I'm not.
I don't know if he doesn't. I'm not going to go all the way to say he's not feeling his mom, or if he feels like he can disrespect her too much. I don't know if he's starting to feel like he's an equal to her and this is how he can treat her.
I don't know why he feels that. He is a child.
Yeah. I get that kids feel like they grow up faster than they do. I know so many times a kid will be like, I'm 15 years old. Okay. And you're like, oh, you think that's a grown age, but it's not. But they feel that way because that's what their world is. When you're a teenager, your world is so small and you think it all revolves around you. But, then for the way Garcelle was just heartbroken to find out that Jax has known since 8 years old that his dad did something bad. I saw, and Garcelle wasn't acting, but I was just like, oh God, this was such a scene for her, reactions and things, the way she processes it. I'm like, I know she's not acting, but my God, this was just, beautiful in her reactions and responses and behavior. across the board.
I mean, I just think right now, Jax, when I say he's like not feeling, I feel like he's just gravitating towards maybe, because we don't see his like relationship with his dad, but it just feels like he's into his dad a little bit more right now and not taking his, I don't know. I just feel like his mom's side in it right now. But he's a child. So like, I feel like once he grows up and he really like has his own experiences, I think he'll still see the situation much differently. But right now, I think that Garcelle's just gonna have to have a lot of patience with him because he seems like he's gonna be a handful.
A lot, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, this time next year, we better be hearing Jax say, you know, Mom, what I said to you last year was not cool. That's what I want. That kid needs to correct himself for sure.
And it's true. Like, I mean, we're able to watch it. So, and he's living it in the moment. So I'm hoping that he watches it back and maybe he's like, oh, maybe whatever I was trying to say to you didn't come off in the way that I wanted. Because I know he loves his mother. Like, that's evident. But right now he is just, I'm not loving how he's treating his mother.
He's
and
just how he's cocky and like,
I don't like how he's treating his mother. I don't like how he's speaking to his mother. I feel like he's being hella disrespectful and he needs to tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
Not well, bitch.
The seasons, they're changing. It's starting to feel like fall. Seasonal flavors of things are coming into play. But I'll tell you what is never in season: body odor. Okay? I know I've preached about Lumi plenty of times, but I'm going to do it again because I have been using Lumi for years, almost at this point, a decade. Lumi was created by an OBGYN who was tired of the vagine getting all the blame for odor down there. She realized that body odor is actually not just an underarm thing. It's everywhere on the body. She formulated a pH optimized deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor everywhere for up to 72 hours. I recommend showering within a 72-hour window, but hey, if you can't, you got the Lumi. I discovered Lumi. I was working in restaurants. There's lots of running around and whatnot, so it makes sense that body odor occurred. But I just happened to hook up with someone new, and a couple days later, I smell a smell from that bikini region that was a new smell. And I was like, oh, I have an STD. Wonderful. So in my Google searching, I was then targeted by a Lumi ad. And once I saw deodorant for the whole body created by an OBGYN, I was like, well, it'd be a lot easier if this was just body odor and not an STD. So I impulse purchased the Lumi. Boom. Used the Lumi. No more odor. It smelled like the lilac scent that I got. And problem solved. Never called that guy again, I'll tell you that much. I was too scared. What makes Lumi different than any other deodorant is it was created by an OBGYN for the entire body, but it's aluminum free, it's baking soda free, it's paraben free, it's pH balanced to use below the belt, and it is clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average person has an odor level of 6 out of 10. With Lumi, the average odor level is a 0 out of 10, okay? Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code SHESPEAKS at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% of your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com and use code SHESPEAKS.
Not well, bitch.
Something I do not miss at all about drinking are hangovers. So when Waterboy sponsored the pod, I gave the product to my sister and I said, give this a test drive. Let me know how it goes. I did not expect such a glowing review because hangovers are hard. How do you combat a hangover? But Waterboy is apparently no joke. She's used my code to purchase 2 more rounds of Waterboy. You know, it's the holiday season. There's lots of drinking, lots of partying going on. She's busy. She doesn't have time for a hangover. She says it's the best she's ever had. So Waterboy is a hydration powder. It's scientifically formulated to cut your hangover time in half. There are other hydration packs on the market, but nothing comes anywhere close to fighting those Sunday scaries like Waterboy. There's 0 sugar and over 3 times the electrolytes of liquid IV. your hangover stands no chance. Unlike their competitors, Waterboy has added specific ingredients beyond just hydration to help with nausea, anxiety, and fatigue. We all know that hydration alone isn't enough to help after a holiday bender. These make great stocking stuffers for the drinkers in your life. They will thank you. And for this holiday season, our listeners get 15% off your entire order with our exclusive link at waterboy.com/she-speaks. Most hydration powders are packed so full of sugar that cause you to crash even harder. Not to mention you have to drink so many of them to get the electrolyte replenishment that your body really needs to recover. And Waterboy has over 9 times the electrolytes as Gatorade. Inside each stick, there's ginger for the nausea and to make your tummy feel better. They also include L-theanine to help calm your nerves and reduce your anxiety. I think that's the game changer. And maybe the best part about Waterboy is how amazing it tastes. Their most popular flavors include strawberry, lemonade, lemon lime, and blue raspberry. You're going to actually want to drink these. Waterboy is also gluten-free, caffeine-free, dairy-free, vegan, and made right here in the US of A. A lot of things get worse as you get older, but your hangovers don't have to. Waterboy isn't a magic cure, but it's pretty damn close. Hundreds of thousands of people already trust Waterboy as their hangover cure. It's time to stop dealing with that anxiety alone. For a limited time, my listeners get an exclusive 15% off discount with our link at waterboy.com/she-speaks. That's 15% off at waterboy.com/she-speaks. It's time to hydrate this holiday season.
The rumors, the nastiness about her.
All right, now let's go to the tattoo. Okay, first weird part, okay, is Kyle tells her, Morgan, that she's going to do the THC CBD party, and Morgan's whole face like changes, and she's like kind of like really disapproving, like really clearly like, that's just stupid. You don't even like edibles. I thought you didn't even like it, whatever. And Kyle is so juvenile in how she's like, well, you know, it's because they give me so much shit about not drinking, so I figure I would do this. I'm like, what? That's not why you should ever do an edible. And also, turns out this edible situation, they were not even going to get that high. 5 milligrams will do next to nothing to you. So yeah, it wasn't even like that. But it was just that Morgan had this very like disapproving way about her. Yeah, with something Kyle was choosing to do. Yeah, and all Morgan said was, you know, don't let them peer pressure you or don't do anything you don't feel comfortable doing. And Kyle's like, that's great advice. I'm like, that's not anyone could give you that advice, girl.
I'm super supportive of Kyle's lifestyle changes and all of that stuff because, like, girl, do whatever's going to make you feel good. I love that for you. But it's feeling like less of what she was alluding to, like how she watched her behavior last season and how she wanted to make some changes and whatnot. And it's feeling very much like if Morgan was like not sober, she would be not sober. Like I feel like she's just doing whatever Morgan is doing, and it's not necessarily like all she didn't come to this on her own, which is fine. You can absolutely have good influences and stuff like that, but I feel like I really do feel like if Morgan was like, tomorrow I'm going to start drinking, Kyle will be like, you know what, I took a break and now I'm drinking again. Like that's how I feel. I don't think
you're wrong.
That's what it's like. That's what it's just feeling like. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. She is having a midlife crisis.
Yeah. And Morgan seems way too comfortable with this like pedestal that Kyle has her up on. I'm telling you, this is something she's accustomed to. She's accustomed to turning and flipping middle-aged women.
Stop. Not turning and flipping middle-aged women, but she is. Like, you're not wrong about that.
Like, it's a certain type, and like my lesbians out there can attest. There is that type in the community. They're like, she loves to do this. And it's like, maybe they don't even actually hook up, but it gives them this like crisis where now they're getting tattoos. It's probably like the 5th person that's done this with Morgan.
I feel like Morgan is probably like, I feel like a slow tease with Kyle, and that's what's drawing her in more, like the slow tease. And like, I definitely think Kyle would go all the way because she's just so infatuated, but I feel like I don't know if Morgan would ever let her go all the way because
that's what I'm saying. It feels like Morgan doesn't have the same feelings for Kyle.
But also to your point, because you're making me like realize things in real, like as we go. it does feel like she likes this like power thing. So if like they did go all the way, I feel like then Kyle would know one way or the other, and it kind of takes away that control she has, Morgan's control.
Exactly.
And she wants, and that's what's attracting Morgan to Kyle, I think, is that
yes.
Yeah.
How much she's adored by her and how much her word means so much to Kyle. Like, Morgan's fucking loving it.
I just want to know, has anybody checked on Teddy? Because...
Well, don't you forget when Teddy was on with Kyle on Watch What Happens Live, allegedly, they're all in group chats together. They all text each other in the group chat every single morning. Teddy's very much a part of the friendship.
Yeah, right. Like, I think Teddy is so scared to go against. She knows. Teddy knows if she says one bad word about Morgan, she's fucking out of there. Like, Kyle loves Teddy, but right now it's all about Morgan. So if Teddy even, like, she kind of reminds me of Emily from OC, like Gina in, like, Emily's relationship. When Gina likes somebody, if Emily says anything negative about it, Gina will be like, well, I'm distancing myself. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's how Teddy is with Kyle. She has to be in agreement with everything Kyle is saying, which is why I know Kyle put her up to about saying Mauricio, because she don't do nothing without Kyle's permission. But I kind of do hope that that Morgan puts a wedge between her and Teddy, because I'm over that friendship.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't even like. I hate talking about Teddy.
She's a trigger.
Teddy. She's just like the worst. I like moving on. I can't even. I get the visual of her face in my head, and I'm just like. Ugh,
I just love that you don't like Teddy too.
I just can't. I just can't. Oh, now I'm thinking about her stupid thing. Watch What Happens Live. Now I'm thinking about it, where she's like, well, it actually reminded me of myself and Edwin, my first season, I was hiding something, and how Andy was like, okay, that didn't answer my question. Anyway, next question. She's like, damn it. Ugh. And then the stupid thing about the penis pic, dick pic hat or something. She's like, yeah, where's yours, to Andy? And then Andy's like, what? It's in the... I don't know. It's in the... Exactly. See, don't bring up Teddy anymore. I get mad.
I'm sorry, but I enjoyed all of that.
I can't.
Because that's how I feel.
God. Anyway, okay. Then Kyle gets the tattoo. And as soon as Kyle goes, hold my hand, the whole energy just shifted. And I was like, what am I watching?
I know.
Kyle's like looking up at Morgan, and Morgan's making silly little jokes and stuff. But Morgan's also acting like kind of a dick.
Yes.
Like not being nice. And then at one point Kyle says, because I don't remember exactly what the line was before, but Kyle's like, yeah, you taught me you can't judge a book by its cover. And she's like staring up at Morgan, and Morgan's staring down at her. Oh, God. And then Morgan at one point says something like spicy. And Kyle goes, I should have got a pepper down there. And Morgan's like, no one laughs at your jokes more than you. And she's like really condescending and rude about it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. So that's when I was like, the dynamic to me is that Morgan likes this attention from these types of women and likes to string them along and act like, what? We're just friends. We're just friends. And lets Kyle have her. Then that music video to me makes even more sense, because Kyle, they don't technically ever kiss.
Yeah.
But it's like Kyle wanted to feel that with Morgan.
Yeah, it's definitely her complete idea. Like, she's like, oh, would it be fun if maybe I did it?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, Kyle is dying to hook up with Morgan, and Morgan is not.
And Morgan's like, I have so many other like road bitches that I hook up with and stuff, because she's a country singer and she's always like on tour and I don't know, doing shit like that. But they're always photographed. They're always together, and they're always. It's a different thing. I know that Kyle and Teddy had rumors about them hooking up too. But
that
like,
I don't believe that at all.
I don't remember that. Listen, it wasn't like this. And I'm sorry. Then you watch the scenes with Kyle and Teddy, and you're like, okay, I don't think there's anything going on.
That's such a like little sistery, big sistery vibe to me. I got zero chemistry. Maybe Teddy has a crush on Kyle, but I definitely don't. I mean, she doesn't. But like, you know what I mean? That would be like if that was that, it would be that, but it's not.
But I do not recall there being a whole bunch of stuff about Teddy and Kyle being together. Like people maybe said things here and there, but not like Morgan and Kyle.
And the thing is, and it's not even like because Morgan is a lesbian.
No.
It's just I'm watching it, and it's just I'm telling you, I have never seen Kyle like that with Mauricio. Like,
especially since right after this scene, she goes and does a scene with Mauricio, and it's like, oh God.
It's so awkward.
Like, we just saw her acting like that with Morgan, and then the next scene is her with Mauricio, and it's like the contrast on this, you guys.
Like, you can see her being like, as soon as she enters into her house, being like, damn, I'm home.
Yes.
Have to be here now. I wish I was with Morgan. Like, it feels like Mauricio and their life are in Kyle's way.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, can we just tell him already? I am just like, let him go. Like, the thing is, I don't feel bad for Mauricio either, because good Lord knows he was doing some shit their entire marriage. Allegedly. But it's just like, I just want Kyle to I mean, I know it's a marriage and it's hard and you can't but just do it.
Well, this scene with Kyle and Mauricio also annoyed me again, with the whole Kyle trying to say that Sutton's not talking about what's really going on. I don't know exactly what her argument is with Sutton, because it still is not really tracking.
Yeah.
But she's not telling us what is actually happening with Mauricio. She's only telling us it's been a hard year.
Yes.
So that could mean anything. So we're still left to wonder how this relationship that we've watched for years looks like this now.
And she's fought so hard for this relationship, and it's just like, we're missing a huge piece of the puzzle here.
It's the most bizarre interactions, the way she shows the tattoo, and he says, I mean, I hope I can see it. She's like, well, you're seeing it now. And he's like, well, like, often. She goes, well, and just end of scene.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck happened? Like, now, if you don't keep showing, don't even film together then, if you're not going to tell us the full fucking story.
Right.
And it's making me crazy.
And she's like, she doesn't even read his book.
I'll get to it.
Like, I was like,
she's
she
like,
is so
fucking
done.
hate him. She hates him.
She's so done with that relationship.
Yeah. She's like, I'm fucking over lying for you and pretending I don't know. And so, yeah.
Wait, how old is Portia?
I think she just had her Sweet 16 or her quinceañera. I can't remember. I think it was her Sweet 16 at the top of the show, right?
Yeah, because I'm just trying to. She wouldn't have a quinceañera. She would have had a bar mitzvah.
Oh, well, they're Mexican.
Oh, yeah, but I think he's Jewish Mexican.
Yeah, but still, you can still have a quinceañera and you can have a bar mitzvah.
That's true. You're not wrong. But yeah. I was just bringing up the age thing. I'm wondering if like Kyle's like hesitation to end it with Mauricio is she's trying to wait till Portia is like out of the house. Ooh, you know what I mean?
Yikes. That's possible.
That's what I'm trying to see how many more years she would have to like do this.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a possibility. Or Kyle has been thinking this for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it's like, now she's been doing the math and she's like, I can't hold out.
I know. That's a long time.
Dude. Yeah. Okay. Dorit joins Sutton and the matchmaker. Did you catch Avi at the beginning being like, the matchmaker, like, she's real bubbly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I can't stand her either, buddy.
I know. I was like, he has a real opinion about
you don't like her.
Dorit, and I need to see more of that. That's
he was talking about the matchmaker, I thought.
Oh,
yeah.
He was talking about Dorit. Oh, okay.
I don't think he would describe Dorit as bubbly.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she is. The matchmaker is really bubbly.
Yeah, I noted that the first time. She was like, oh my God, water would be incredible. Water would be amazing. Yes, Sutton. She's so a lot. It's like very inauthentic.
I don't even know how this woman still has a job. Sutton doesn't seem to agree with her at all. About anything.
It's like Sutton set this scene up just to make fun of herself. I don't really do you not know that Dorit doesn't like you? Like, how do you know? Why would you invite Dorit?
Yeah.
Unless you wanted it to be this scene. Because what happens is Dorit asks the matchmaker what her take on Sutton is. And when the matchmaker calls Sutton self-aware, Dorit takes this as an opportunity to say all the things she hates about Sutton.
Yeah.
She's like, interesting. Some have used the term erratic. She can get very aggressive and snippy. And even if you're trying to comfort her, I don't think she's self-aware in that moment. I'm like, this has nothing to do with her dating life. So, Sutton, this is on you.
Yeah, I really don't know why. She must,
no reason for her to be there.
Why did you invite her?
Because Dorit very clear. Like, Sutton, I hope you took note. Like, okay, Dorit really doesn't like me.
And also, Sutton, you already know that Dorit is going to do whatever Kyle is doing. And you already know that you and Kyle ain't in a good place. Do you think Dorit, the more Kyle does not like Sutton, the more Dorit, you notice that? So,
yeah, that's a good point. As Kyle's getting ready for her dinner, she FaceTimes Morgan, and it turns out Kyle gave Morgan a tattoo, and the tattoo is the letter K. I'm sorry. No. Stop. This is why when that happened, I got mad at Kyle, because Kyle, when she was on Watch What Happens Live with Teddy, was like, we're just friends. Like, why does everyone keep saying that? You're all being so silly. It's like, Kyle, you knew we were going to watch this.
Yeah, I'm sure Teddy has a K on her too now because she didn't want to be left out.
Teddy went and got it immediately after she found out.
I can't wait till Morgan tells Kyle she can't be friends with Teddy anymore.
But no, like, that is the wildest decision. I would be fucking livid if I said, surprise me, and you put the first letter of your name on there. But she's like, I wanted you to, basically. Like, what the hell? It's a lot.
It's weird.
It's a lot. And on the after show, Kyle was so weird about it too. On the after show, she was like, I mean, there's enough space. She could get something else. Whatever.
Small tangent, real quick, because I know you like the challenge. Did you ever see Cara Maria and her boyfriend on that tattoo show on MTV?
No.
So there's this tattoo show. I don't know if it's still going on, but it's on MTV. It was on MTV, and it's like couples go on, and you have you get to pick the person's tattoo.
Oh, I heard about this. Okay, yeah, go on.
So her and her boyfriend were on, and when he looked down to see what she had picked and revealed, because like they don't know what's happening, like it's a reveal. It was literally a full in color portrait of Cara Maria on his thigh.
Yeah.
I would be so fucking mad. Like, I would have been like, that's so, like, even if you're like madly in love, I think that's just so, like, that's too,
it's
like,
permanent. It's like it's there forever.
Unless you had some type of like conversation that we don't know about, like, one day I want to get a portion of you, where I don't think that he wasn't mad or anything, I don't think.
I bet he assumed that was what was going to happen.
But like, I'm like,
that's God. So Cara Maria.
It is so Cara Maria.
Oh my God, that's so her. Okay, the party starts. Faye and Justin are the first to arrive, and then we meet Anne Marie. And I know there's been a lot of controversy around her husband as of late. He's been accused of sexual assault from like the 90s.
Shit.
I have not looked at the actual filing to see, because I only know that in it, it's alleged that she tried to speak out to the university, and they didn't do anything about it, which is probably because he was like a college football star. They do that all the time.
I went to a Big Ten university. I went to Michigan State. Go Green. And those football players
are like gods.
They're God. No, like literal gods.
Yeah.
Like I dated one for a brief second. Like they can get away with anything. Like they give them the best grades. Like if they get into legal trouble, they'll get them out. Like they would get into a lot of legal trouble.
Yeah. So but I don't know the validity of it. And she may have proof that she went to, like, there may be emails or letters. I don't know. But anyway, that compartmentalizing that over here, Kyle met them at an agency party, and they live on Kyle's street. And I just find that so funny, because I feel like Kyle was like, oh, perfect. We need another black girl on this show.
And she wanted to get, like, have her black girl. Like, see, look at
mine.
Me. This is my black girl.
So problematic.
This is my black. So I'm not gonna. I did the voice. Sorry. But that is what happened.
Totally.
And we know it. We all thought it.
She works out 7 days a week, so this gives Kyle this, like, see, other people do it too. And again, it's totally fine. Kyle can become this person if she wants to, because it happens. How else do people make sudden lifestyle changes? Like, It absolutely happens. And a lot of the time people give you shit for it. It usually, when you start doing a lot of working out or like eating better, it triggers a lot of people in your life.
Oh, yes.
I've seen it happen to myself because it would happen. I would do it. Like if a friend was suddenly being really dedicated to the gym, it makes you feel something.
Yeah, because you're like, because it makes you feel bad about what that because you like part of you is like, yeah, I wish I could do that, but like, nah, I don't fucking feel like it, and then they're actually doing it, and you're like, I want you to eat Taco Bell with me.
Yes. I
want you to eat Taco Bell with me.
So then you find yourself saying something to them like, don't be too fanatical about it. You know, you want to still, it's like all that kind of crap. It's like, I'm probably just jealous.
But then sometimes that person though gets too like cocky and like, look at me, like, are you going to really eat that? Are you really good? Like, and I'm like, I think on both ends it can get real toxic until it just becomes normal for
both people. Yeah, it's a growing pain. It's a transition phase for everybody.
Which is why I was happy Crystal pointed it out. I was like, Crystal woke up this season, she said.
Yes, Crystal did. She moved this along really well, very subtly. But
Dory with your 3 carcasses out, and Kyle just became sober. Like, I caught them air quotes. She has an opinion about that. Let's hope we get into that.
Sutton comes in with Cynthia Bailey. Hello.
What the fuck? Sorry. Were you not pissed off with Cynthia's hair?
Oh, what was her hair? Wasn't it just a low pony?
No, it was 2 fucking pigtails.
Oh, was it?
I couldn't, like, me and my cousin literally dragged the shit out of Cynthia. Like, what the fuck, Cynthia? You're a model. And you're in Beverly Hills. Like, you look a mess.
It doesn't even surprise me, though. Cynthia makes such weird choices sometimes.
Go back and watch it, and you'll be like, what the fuck? Which, like, ugh.
They barely used her. Like, they were like, you'll just be there with Sutton. That's it.
And that's another problem. Like, Cynthia, why are you so boring? Like,
they walk in right as Kyle is talking shit about Sutton because Sutton was giving her so much crap about working out. And then Sutton's like, wow, it's quiet in here. It's like, yeah, because they didn't know how to transition the conversation. As soon as they saw it was you, they were like, hello.
It was the most like shut off, stop talking, like clearly you're talking about me. Like you couldn't even pretend like you were talking about anything else because you were so hardcore talking shit about something.
You couldn't switch gears.
Yeah.
Crystal also has some shit to say about Anne-Marie. She's like, I know we have mutual friends. She talks a lot and she asks a lot of questions. That bitch is nosy.
I love it.
I love it. Okay.
Yes, Crystal.
Yes.
Finally.
Kyle, though, this is now the second time on this show that Kyle has set up her friend Faye to be with someone who hates her or who has something to say to her. It was with, I talked about this on Kendrick's podcast, Catherine, that one-hit wonder who didn't who had the whole thing because she had been married to Marcus and Faye had all these things to say in her book about her. Kyle acted like confused or like forgot when she tells Faye that Catherine's coming. She's like, oh, oops, I forgot. Yeah, she doesn't like you. And then here she goes again, bringing Camille. And Faye is so not okay with it. And Kyle doesn't care. Kyle finds it funny. She laughs. I'm like, and look, I don't really like Faye that much either. She is kind of a shitty person. She did capitalize on her friend's death. Like it wasn't a great time in Faye's life. But Faye doesn't deserve that if she's your friend.
Yeah, like if that's your friend, you're not friending really well.
Yeah. Like if I came to a party, and it's just for camera. Then she has the nerve to really seat them right across from each other.
Kyle can't stop producing.
For real. And I respected Faye being like, no, I'm not giving you that scene. I didn't want it either, though, to be honest. I'm like, I could care less.
I feel like
Camille doing something.
I feel like Camille didn't want it either. She's like, I'm past that. I'm past
like, we don't need another moment. We just don't like each other, period. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
But speaking of Camille, when they get out of that car, it is so clear from the second Denise vacates that car that she is trashed.
She is trashed.
Did you see her telling the driver? She's like, that was amazing. Like the car ride?
Yes. But I kind of love this energy. Like, I know it's bad, but I'm like, she just didn't deliver when she was actually on the show. And this is like the most interesting she's been. I'm sorry it's under the influence, but Denise,
she's like, you know what I'm talking about.
Like when she was winking, I'm like
winking like with her mouth, like winking, but like only moving her mouth the one side.
I wink like that, but
do you actually close your eye? Does it get to close, or
Let's
do
see
you
if,
not
hold on. Oh, guys, sorry, jump scare. Now I have makeup on. I do it like this.
No, but you still are winking your eye. I don't think Denise's actual eye closed. I think she blinked. Mouth. I think just her mouth distorted. She's like, "You get it." I'm like, and can you blink with both eyes?
What do you mean?
I can only wink my left. I can't even kind of just get my right closed.
I can only wink if I like move my mouth weird. Like,
me too. Yeah. Well, I think that's fine. That's normal. But I can't just get my right eye. I can only just blink. And I actually practiced that in geometry in high school.
You know who, like, I feel like across the board are good at winking? Old white men.
Ew.
Like old, like when I say old, like grandpa age, because I feel like that was like a thing that they people used to do back then. Like,
how often are they winking at you? Do we need to call the authorities? Why are old men winking at you? That is I'm like, where is this at Soho House? We need to report them to the police.
It actually is.
Ew.
I feel, and they do it so, and it's like, it's so quick. Like, if you're a good winker, it translates. It's just like, oh, also, somebody who winked at me was what's his name? From Avengers, Hemsworth. He winked at me, and I literally melted.
Oh my!
Melted to the floor.
I would just my knees would have gone I would have buckled.
Like I was like, do it again.
Oh yeah, no, he's a charmer.
Charmer.
Oh my word. Oh, that just made me feel feelings. I'm jealous that you got to experience that. It must have been like a magnetic force, like
yes,
melted me. Oh my God,
it was.
Oh, hello, baby. Okay, Sutton pulls Kyle to talk. Okay, I'm not saying I'm siding with Kyle in general, but Sutton misstepped, in my opinion, very, very much so here in this conversation. Because if she was trying to get sympathy here's what I think. Sutton thought, what I'll do is I'll pull Kyle aside and I'll talk to her about what's going on with Christian. And then she'll say, thanks for sharing. Here's what's going on with me. But because she prefaced it with, it got really heated at Garcelle's, and Kyle's like, well, it got more heated at your house, which was before Garcelle's.
Yeah.
Kyle's like, it seems like you're not being yourself. And Sutton uses that as her segue into the story about Christian. And yeah, I'm not myself. And this is why he got a big promotion. And he's moving to London, etc. Sutton also slips in her confessional. He's very powerful globally. I'm not talking about selling houses.
That was a good one.
Okay. But then she cries. I don't know if James would want to go with him. And so Kyle's like, okay, so because if you hadn't segued from, yeah, I'm not myself, like when you were at my house, I'm not myself, this is what was going on. Kyle maybe could have just been listening to this, but instead Kyle's like waiting for what's your point? Like, what does this have to do with the other day? And then Sutton goes, so it was weighing on me. Like, so she's done with her point. She's made her point. You then could have maybe brought that up in the moment of the scene because you were claiming Kyle wasn't talking about what was going on with her. And Kyle was like, are you okay? And you instead were like, are you okay? And so to me, I'm like, this feels very much just a strategic thing. And it's not going to get the outcome you're looking for, because then she has the nerve to end it with, but don't worry, he's moving, I'm not moving. But I am going to get him full time, and I need to get more child support. So, like, okay, well, I really don't get it.
So the thing is, I do think it was a bit of a strategy because Kyle.
It was a complete strategy.
Yeah, because Kyle is definitely trying to allude to Sutton having a drinking problem, and she does not want that narrative out there.
Do you think she knows yet?
Well, I feel like the thing is, Sutton definitely was drunk in that scene, and I think that she's.
Oh, maybe she's
she's like, it. Yeah, but I do. The thing is, I do think all of that. I don't think that she's making it up. And
no, not at all.
But the thing is, that could be I think this is what Sutton should have did. She could have told Kyle all of that, not in the way she did, but say, I was a little off and I started drinking because I had a fucking hard day with my ex-husband. He was threatening to take my, not even asking me to move, telling me I'm moving. I know that I know that I have all this money, but he scares me. And I was frustrated that day. I didn't let you know, and I was taking some stuff out on you and not really being honest with you in the moment.
Exactly.
And you know, everything is fine now, so thank God. But that was happening to me, and then I got emotional and sorry. Like that I would have been fine with that, but she just always does it in her Sutton way. So Kyle, but also Kyle, I don't think she would have cared. I don't think that Kyle would, even if she said it in a better way. I think Kyle has made up her mind, and she was like, "You were being weird. You have a drinking problem, and you're just making excuses." I think she's just made up her mind.
This is where I saw in the scene that they're both doing the exact same thing then to each other.
And Crystal later says that.
She nails it when she's like, yeah, you're both doing that. Because Sutton claiming, like, okay, so let's say all of that happened.
Right.
Let's say that she really was affected by the conversation because she had the conversation with him before Vegas. She says that on the after show. So it was like as she was on her way to the airport. So it's been quite some time. And if she's known that this is making her off, she made it seem like that had happened that day. But also, if Kyle's asking her in the scene at her house, like, "Are you okay?" It feels like she could have, if it really was what was weighing on her, it feels like it would have been like, "Well, no, because this happened with Christian," or whatever. Then she sees Kyle at Garcelle's and also doesn't say it there. Just accuses Kyle of being mean. "You're being mean. You're not respecting me." And then now she's getting this, well, it was actually because of Christian and whatnot and whatnot. I'm not buying it. I think it happened, but I think she's trying to put it in here, and it was just to get Kyle to talk about what's going on with her and Mauricio.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah, I think she was, because then but you can't like bait sympathy from someone if you're already in a fight with them.
Yeah.
By then rounding out your conversation by saying, "I'm going to get more child support." It's like,
that's
okay,
why Sutton
honey.
I was like, Sutton always does that.
Like, you really should have left that out.
You really should have, because it's like, yeah, I'm not going to like feel sorry for you when you already get a lot of money.
And it's like, but she's like, "I have to go against him legally." It's like, yeah, I get it. Okay. Still really hard to feel bad for you. And also, again, is this what was wrong with you that day? And like you said, if she had said, it's been weighing on me since Vegas, and I was, really upset, and I just wasn't ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
But instead, she says it like that and expects Kyle to be like, "Oh, that's what it is." And instead, Kyle's like, "So how is this not just an excuse? You do this a lot. Like, when you were selling your house, and that's why you freaked out in Lake Tahoe," which I was like, "Oh yeah, that's why she said she was freaking out. It's because she was selling her house," which was also like rich people problems. You know what I mean? Like, Sutton does do this.
Yes. I agree. But then like, that's what, I don't know. Sutton's strange. And I feel like she is in such a different world, but that doesn't mean like I know there's people with more problems than her, but like I'm trying to find the empathy to be like, okay, if someone's trying to take my kid away from me, like no matter if you're rich or not, I would be like, that's fucked up. But I do agree that it seemed like an afterthought tactic that she used. But even if it wasn't, I just don't think Kyle would care.
At that point, no. Not in the context of, basically excusing all of the behavior that you think is weird. Like, Kyle wants something else out of her.
Yeah, she's not going to, like, that's not going to satisfy her. Like, nah.
Because then Garcelle's like, "Where are they?" And Crystal goes to check on them. And she's like, it cut back over to Sutton being like, "You're not the friend that I know right now." Because Kyle's not being sympathetic to her. Yeah. And Crystal lets them keep talking. And Sutton says, "Well, we can just sit here. We can just go sit if you're not going to be honest." And this is where I also started getting irritated with Sutton. I do want Sutton just to fucking say it. I don't like that she is alluding to something. And that I do understand with Kyle. If you're going to have the balls to allude to it, say it. Because that's not cool.
Do you think that Sutton is alluding to it because she doesn't want to get caught in Kyle's trap of being the one to out it?
Yes, but then you got to find a better way to do it. That's why when they get back to the table, Well, first, this is why I'm wondering if Sutton didn't know that the drinking thing was even going to be brought up, because at the end, Kyle then says, I don't know if it's your medication for your feet.
Stop. I gagged when she said that.
I don't know if that was your first drink or whatever. And that's when Sutton just gets up. Mm-hmm. And so I think that might have been the first time she's like, oh, she's going to be acting like it's a drinking thing.
Okay.
Because then Sutton leaves abruptly, and then that's when she shamelessly, they're like, where's Kyle? Probably in denial about something.
That gagged me too.
You know what I mean? But Crystal, again, coming through, right? She's like, you're both doing the same thing to each other. And then they get back to the table. They do I thought it was cool that they take the individual dosing order. Like that way everyone can participate.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that. That looks so
too.
cool.
Me too. But then Crystal, she's like, no, we're not leaving this there. She goes, guys, before we start dinner, I think we should clear the air if possible. And then she doesn't even let it go there. She goes, I walked in there and you guys were screaming at each other saying you were being dishonest. I'm like, yes. She set it up. We're like, now everyone knows the gist and now you guys have to talk. That was very, very well done, Crystal.
And Denise's face was like a meme, like that. Someone make that into a meme. She was just like dun dun dun.
She was ready. And so I'm there with Kyle. It's like she's like, I don't like when a friend is going to make veiled threats to me. Mm-hmm. But then Sutton, I'm sorry, Sutton, to me, Sutton's like, I shared something with you that was very personal and you kind of made fun of it. I'm like, okay, so you just wanted her to say what was going on, but you're still not willing to say it. So thank God for Garcelle.
Yes.
Because honestly, if Sutton didn't have Garcelle, I would have been really irritated with Sutton. But Garcelle's finally, because Anne-Marie's like, am I the only one lost here? What's happening? Sutton like, is there something going on in your personal life? And then finally, Anne-Marie's like, with what though? Like, you're still not saying it? Garcelle goes, with her marriage.
Yes. So, but Sutton,
But wait, then Erica goes, really? And Garcelle goes, yes. Like, so strong, but not mean? Yeah. I don't know how she dances that line so well.
Because there's no judgment in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is.
There's no judgment.
That's exactly what it is. Yep. Because she goes, what's with the new wedding band? Sutton is just lucky that this is coming out, that Garcelle is willing to take the ball and take it to the finish yard or line or whatever the hell they do in sports.
Well, remember, Garcelle had to do that for Sutton was it last season with
Probably.
the whole the Diana thing? Or no, not Diana thing, with the Lisa Rinna thing. Where they were,
there were so many.
It was the first episode when they were at Lisa Rinna's husband's birthday dinner.
Oh, yes.
And she was dancing around it. And then Garcelle was like, just show them the texts or whatever, or the papers. I was like, because she's like, do it.
Yeah, just bring him out. Bring him out. Garcelle admits, she's like, I thought it was a makeup band. You know, like, I messed up. Here you go. She's like I have a diamond cross. And that saved her because she got to then relate it to herself. And Erica laughs. Now Erica laughs. Did it burst into flames? And then Garcelle just gets to laugh.
Yeah.
And then Camille, I used to get cars. And I'm like, how did she do this? Like, this is like Garcelle is managing.
So good.
I mean, it really it amazed me how she was so direct with Kyle, but then able to still laugh and keep it funny.
Yeah.
And then fucking Faye tries. She's like, it just seems so inappropriate asking about her marriage at a table and talking behind backs. So, did you hear Garcelle goes, who was that? Oh, Faye.
I did miss that. I missed that. Thank you.
Yeah. Like, she's like, of course that's who's saying that.
Right.
But then Kyle tries to get Garcelle. And she's like, I mean, where did you get that necklace? And Garcelle pauses and then goes, Zara, and they both laugh.
Like Kyle, like she really tried to do something and she had to admit to herself, like, damn, that was good.
Damn, that was good. Because like Garcelle kind of didn't want to say it. She's like, damn it, Zara.
Because I know, because she already knows everybody's going to be looking it up. There's no way you can lie.
Yeah, exactly. So she's like, God damn it. So I just was so amazed that yet again, Garcelle is able to deliver this blunt, honest shit, but it doesn't feel like she's malicious. And even when they were talking in the after show about all of each other in that scene, it wasn't about how Garcelle fucked up. It was about like only Sutton.
Yeah, because Sutton had judgment.
Yes.
It's the clear difference. Sutton, there's judgment. Garcelle, there's no judgment.
You're right. Well, and then, because then Sutton starts going, well, then it's all cleared up. You cleared it all up, Kyle. Cleared it all up. And finally, Kyle puts it together and she goes, okay, so what you're saying is my husband cheated on me. And,
Kyle was tired of waiting for her to do it. She was absolutely
sick and tired of it. Exactly.
Sick and tired.
But then Kyle's like, what's so sad is I told you guys at the retreat that this has not been our best year. Is that not enough for you guys? And I'm like, Kyle, no, because you didn't. We don't get it. Like,
Kyle,
saying it's a bad year is not that big a deal.
Yeah. And also, Kyle knows for damn sure if this was any other lady and they were saying that, Kyle will be investigating the shit out of it. Like, let's talk about it. Kyle has this double standard about her in Mauricio's life that she's always had that irritates me, and she's always been protected by, I feel like, producers. And I am here for, like, let's hear it all. Like, put it on the table.
Kyle's like, do you want my husband to have cheated and bought me that band? He didn't. I bought it myself. And that camera angle and the way Kyle's looking at Sutton is intense. And Sutton just goes, great, Kyle. I'm happy. I'm content with all of your answers. I bet you Garcelle's like, damn it, Sutton. Like, don't do that. Finally, Kyle snaps, though, and says, why is it so bad I'm not drinking? The next day I feel down and depressed, and I can't afford to feel depressed right now. And it's like, okay, that's what we don't understand. We get that something must have precipitated this lifestyle change. We figure that out, but like, we don't know what it is. It's like an elephant in the room that we're not allowed to ask about. So, okay, so you can't afford to be depressed right now. Okay. Thank you.
Though?
What is it? Like,
what is it?
Still, only Lisa Rinna and Kathy know what Kathy said in Aspen about Kyle's family. So no, everyone's in the dark.
Yeah. I think Kathy is like so happy that this is happening though, because I just don't think she's ever liked Mauricio.
Well, I mean, that it kind of, when you think about it, is the root of the entire rift. Like, that's why they stopped speaking, was because Mauricio, took clients and started his own agency. Yeah. And Kyle had to just kind of support him in that. I'm sure she had something to do with it too, but like, if you take Mauricio out of it and can speak openly about how she feels about Mauricio, I'm sure that changes the game for Kathy. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, finally, now I can tell you how I really feel. And she's probably so excited. She's like, yes, have a lesbian love affair. Kathy's like, I'm here for that. Totally. But I still don't know if Kyle's prepared, is able to like fully access that side of her.
I think that like, the thing is, I just don't see Kyle long term, like making a lifestyle change. I do think that it's a fun thing for her to do right now. And it's a way for her to escape her loveless marriage that will never fulfill her.
Yep. It's so sorry, Kyle, but yeah, Kyle deserves to have a season like this. She's had many easy seasons.
Yes.
And so if something this big is going on in your life, like the end of your marriage to Mauricio, who we've known you to be with this entire time, yeah, you're going to have to talk about it.
Yeah, I was really loving this dinner scene.
All right, that's it. That's all. Love you guys. Mean it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching and for listening to She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. If you haven't already, would you mind leaving a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you listen? That would be amazing. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed and hit that bell so you don't miss an episode. And if you're looking for more content, more exclusive bonus content, check out the Patreon. I post 2 exclusive episodes a month, and I'm covering just the Bravo jams, like Classic Roni, Atlanta, and of course Vanderpump Rules. If you just want to support the show, head to buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo and buy me a coffee, or 2 or 5. We also have merch available at SheSpeaksBravo.com. And if you're interested in hearing my takes on non-Bravo shows, check out my new podcast, She Speaks It All. I cover The Challenge, Drag Race, and any other show I'm obsessed with that's not Bravo. She Speaks It All is available everywhere you get your podcasts, just like this show. Make sure you're following me on the social medias. I am She Speaks Bravo across all platforms. Thank you so much for any support you give the show, even if it's just listening. Appreciate you, love you, mean it. I'll see you soon.